Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask Ben W, the video series where I get to tackle exactly one question as I walk from my parked car to my office in Denver Public Schools. Today's question goes something like this. How do you know which questions to ask people that you have never met? So, this question is courtesy of the fact that this will be the last week of Ask Ben W. Now, the series may come back in another form, but I will no longer be walking from my parked car to my office in Denver Public Schools. After this week, August 1st is my very first day of full-time employment at Aurora Public Schools as the director of blended and personalized learning. And for me, it's a very bittersweet because I have been walking to my office for the last 3+ years in Denver Public Schools and have absolutely loved learning and leading in DPS. But it's time for a new adventure, and one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is the questions that I want to ask people in Aurora. What are the questions, what are the things that I want to know from folks in APS that are going to allow me to understand the context, to understand the needs, to understand the schools, and to really dig deeply into who they are and who we will be together. And so I've been thinking a lot about what those questions are, and came up with something this morning that I thought was going to be really important. And it is the idea of sending a who is command, or whois, depending on your flavor of Linux and things like that. But WHOIS. If you type that into a terminal and you put any kind of domain, whether it's like google.com or aurorak12.org, if you put that into a terminal and you press enter, it will tell you all about the information of that organization, who owns that particular server, like what it's used for, all that kind of good stuff. And because of that, it made me think that wouldn't it be amazing if there was a whois command for learning, and that I could ask people essentially who they are and what they believe and what they're thinking about as sort of the most valuable thing that's going on for them, what's most important, what 21st century skills are going to be most important for kids to have. What does blended and personalized learning look like? How are you creating equity within your own classroom or school? Where is the home of your classroom online? All of these kinds of really great questions, but they all boil down to just doing a whois command on the entire district. And kind of thinking about that, it made me want to sort of start a different hashtag other than Ask Ben W, because it's not about me. It's about asking lots and lots of other folks deep and important questions. So I've been thinking about that whois command, and I'd like to do hashtag whois APS, and that's kind of what I'm going to be starting next week. I may have an opportunity to do a little bit this week, but I'm sort of going back and forth between APS and DPS this week, and really just kind of getting my feet under me a little bit in Aurora to make sure that I have the ability to hit the ground running. It's a couple of different metaphors there, but anyway, that's my big question. I'm really excited about starting something new and sharing what I'm learning along the way. And although this is the last week of Ask Ben W, I did want to, leave strong. And so there will be a couple more of these. We just hit 75 different Ask Ben Ws over the last year or so, which is a lot, and has been really amazing learning experience. If you want to ask me any questions for the next week that I can answer, please do so using the hashtag AskBenW. And if you're thinking about what kinds of questions you might ask someone that you've never met, please do leave them as a comment. Hope you have a great day of learning.